Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Anything But Hold'em. Today we're doing a little 10 game, nice little mixed game variant on Full Tilt Poker that I've just recently discovered. I've never actually played, no, I lie. I was going to say I've never actually played a 10 game before. That's not true. I played a 10 game the other day. I bought into it and I busted in my first PLO hand. I bought in late and it was the PLO round, and I busted the first PLO hand I played. It's gonna happen with PLO, so that's the way it goes. Not too chuffed about that, but yeah. So we're gonna give the 10 game another try. I love the mixed games, of course. Keeps you on your toes when you have to think about the different games as they change. I'm developing a nice flush here, obviously. We've got a pair of eights on the board, so it's letting us bet double. I don't think we will bet double here, but I think we're gonna bet for sure, because I think that our diamonds are going to come in fairly frequently, and when they don't, we're going to hit pairs and things that we can use. Fifth Street now, we've missed our diamonds. I think we're a check behind this time. That's probably making our hand kind of face up, making it look like obviously we've got 4 diamonds in the back, but I'm not too concerned about that at this point. We're going to see one more street. If we pull the diamond, great. If we don't, we're probably getting out of the hand. That gives 2 pair, sevens and deuces. I think that we could easily have the best hand here. We could easily be dominated by another 2 pair as well. It's possible that 5 could have a set of eights. Eights and queens. No, 3 of a kind eights. Alrighty. Well, no, that's going to happen. I think that making that call is not going to be a terrible loss a lot of the time. So we've moved over to no limit deuce to 7 single draw. Not my best form of deuce to 7. I got to say the triple draw is probably more my style. So Taichi discards 4. I think I'm actually going to pat with my queen jack, frankly. And do a bit more than half pot bet. I got to fold that obviously with deuce to 7. I'm actually playing another deuce to 7 game in a Stars home game on the other screen as well, off the stream. I should say another deuce to 7 because I'm only partially playing deuce to 7 here. This is in the 10 game. We'll move past it, but so I am actually playing a deuce to 7 elsewhere. I think I'm gonna fold out of that one. Again, that's certainly a playable hand, but I just don't think you're gonna draw well enough into it to make that profitable often enough. Looks like we're a little bit more than the 3-minute delay this time, maybe about 3.5 minutes, what with the Twitch delay and all that stuff, but that's cool. That is cool. So this is only the second time I've ever played 10 game, but of course I love the next game formats. It helps keep my brain engaged in the game, I think. So those are my favorite kinds of games to play. And yeah, it's great to be hanging out playing some 10 game today. Could be a quick game of deuce to 7 on the other table. I've got 6, 4, 3 deuce 6, and I've just been re-raised all in. I'm thinking I might want to draw 1 to that hand. I mean, myself's probably going to be padding in this. I know you guys can't see this on the stream, so I'll just talk to myself for a little bit about it. No, I don't need to play this. There's no reason to get involved there. On the hand you can see, I am just going to get out of dodge there as well. I mean, that's definitely one you can play and throw to the king 6. It's just a bit of a long hand in the deuce to 7. Sweet, we're drawn to the nuts on our deuce to 7, drawing 1 to the nuts. It's not a terrible place to be in a deuce to 7 hand. So I think we're going to throw some money in that pot. We've been raised again by Taiki. Not all in, but I think that that's what we need to do ourselves. Oh, I meant to go all in there. I hit the wrong button. So I guess we're going to shove it all in. Do a single discard. And hit a 10 and win. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. That's a pretty nice hand on the deuce to 7. Pretty strange one by Taiki. I'm not sure if there's a hand history here that's going to show me what he had, but I was gonna. Yeah, I just saw the new. I just saw the new level Badugi, and I'm looking at my hand, going, "How is replaying Badugi if I've got 5 cards? That makes no sense." So we're still on the deuce to 7. Next round, it will be on the Badugi. Cool. Alrighty, so let's have a look at the lobby for this 10 game. Is 16 people entered total. Late reg is still regging. There's actually another 10 levels of reg, so we got tons of late reg left in this one. So this is our Badugi. We're going to get rid of that in Badugi. So yeah, 16 people total reg so far. 11 are remaining. 3 places are being paid. I'm sitting in 3rd spot right now, chip-wise. First spot is going to pay out $24 at the moment, $14.40 for second, $9.60 for third at the moment. But as I said, still tons of time left to register in this full tilt 10 game. There is still, it's late reg through level 20, and we're only in level 10 at the moment, so there's still tons of time left. I just had a nice double up on a deuce to 7 hand that got all my stuff in with drawing to the nuts. Didn't hit the nuts, but hit a good enough hand to take the pot down. It's a pretty shitty Badugi hand as well, so I think we're probably getting rid of this. When it comes around. Yeah, I think we're getting rid of this. This is not a good Badugi hand. I mean, you can technically draw into the 7-8-10, but drawing into the 7-8-10 is not going to win you a ton of Badoogie hands a lot of times. Badoogie's one of my favorite. Well, it's absolutely my favorite draw game. It's one of my favorite forms of poker just because it's so completely different from the rest of the poker world. Um, the kind of hands you have to make are different. The way you think about your suits is different. The way you think about pairs is different. It's just everything is completely flipped on its head from sort of your normal poker thinking, and that's one of the things I love about the Badoogie. Of course, if you're not familiar with Badoogie, get 4 cards dealt out in pre. You get 3 draws to make the best low rainbow hand you can make. Um, how you figure out the hands when they're not all rainbow gets a little complex, but basically you're looking for the 4 lowest cards that don't have the same suit and aren't paired. That means that the nuts would be 4-3 deuce ace rainbow cards. Several ways, of course, you can make that because any of your 4 can be any of the suits, just so long as the rest of them don't match the suits. So with this hand, I'm sitting with a 3-card King 10-6. Those are my 3 that aren't the same suit. So I'd have to throw away my 8, but regardless, going on a King 10 for a low game is not going to be a very good low hand to play, so I'm just going to get rid of that most of the time. I almost never used to play on full tilt. It's been ages since I played on full tilt. What really got me back here was the upcoming 25 game that's going to be in the mini F-Tops next month, which just sounds like an absurdly good time to someone like me. This is a pretty gorgeous starting hand for Badoogie, so we're going to put money in the pot and keep putting money in the pot. Um, we're obviously going to be tossing our king. Tacky draws 1. F-Co's thinking. F-Co discards 2. Elrond discards 1. So it's a decent low card for me there, but it matches my diamonds, so I've got to get rid of it. But we're going to call. We're going to see another. We're going to see another street with a single discard. So Taiki's padding now. FCO's still drawing. We've improved our 3 card, but we can only assume that Taiki is probably playing a 4 card at this point since he's padding. Nonetheless, I think that our 3 card is strong enough, and our draw therefore is strong enough that we need to be here for the 3rd draw and see if we can get a spade back. No spade back, so we're working on a 4-3 deuce 3 card. It's probably never winning against Taiki. No matter how low your 3 card is, it's never going to win against a 4 card Badugi. I'm positive that Taiki's playing a 4 card. There's really no reason to pat with a 3 card like that. So I think we're going to fold here. And yeah, he's playing a 4 card. I mean, it's not a great 4 card, but it's a 4 card nonetheless. So our 3 card's never competing, no matter how good it is. Into fixed limit hold'em. One of the things I'm not real familiar with in this game is the order of the games, so I'm not really going to be able to preview what's coming up for anybody on the stream here, at least not until we get through a few rotations, because at this point I'm still just kind of figuring out what we're playing when it comes up on the screen. We're into fixed limit hold'em now. Being used to the 8-game rotation and the horse rotation, this is throwing me off a little bit. We went from fixed limit stud into deuce to 7, which is like totally bizarre from my brain in mixed games. I'm going to call through. I mean, I know I'm out of position here, but the 3-4 suited connectors, very disguised hand. When you hit it, it's huge. I actually like what we've got here, and I'm putting money in the pot because we're disguised completely at this point, I think. And, you know, we're on a massive straight draw that we've just hit, and we're, you know, putting money in pretty much as... Well, that's not the greatest card in the world, obviously, for us, but we're still putting money in the pot. There's just no way that we cannot put money in that pot. So... Jack 7, I don't really see any reason to get involved with this, even on the button when it's been folded to me. I'm not necessarily of the school where you need to raise every button that gets folded to you. I think that you can easily fold some of them. I mean, I think you should be raising the majority of your buttons for sure, but I certainly don't think you need to raise all of them. Queen 5, get rid of that. Ten game is played 6-handed, just like 8-game is. It's because, of course, when you get into the stud games, there's not enough cards in the deck. If you go to too many and same with the draw games, if you go to too many more players, there's just not enough cards in the deck to deal with, and they don't want to have to reshuffle. So 6-handed is usually the way it goes. I'm going to guess that'll be the same for the 25 game. It's going to be 6-handed as well. That 25 game certainly sounds like it's going to be a ton of absurd fun, I think. Like the way I like to describe it, if anybody ever watches the car show Top Gear from the UK, when Richard Hammond talks about supercars, he always uses the term bonkers to describe supercars because they're just such an extreme exaggeration of everything about normal cars. That's how I sort of see the 25 game. It's like a supercar of poker tournaments because it's just such an absurd exaggeration of everything else, you know, in the poker tournament world. That it's sort of like the supercar. It's sort of like the Zonda of poker tournaments. It's going to be fun. I'm definitely wanting to work into a satellite on that or a buy-in of some sort. Been doing pretty well actually here since I've come into. We've moved into fixed limit stud high low. That's not really a hand I want to play in a stud high low context, so I'm going to get rid of that. Been doing pretty well here on tilt actually. Yesterday we increased our bankroll 2.5x by playing. Raz for the most part, although we played an Omaha high-low and a HoldEm, cashed in all four of those events yesterday, and won about $30, so it was pretty good. This was had $20 bankroll going in and up to just under 50 now before I bought into this 330 game. I just drew into the nuts on the game that's going to deuce to 7 going in off stream. It's always nice to draw into the nuts. Okay, Josh, I will chat with you a bit later. I just wanted to get this 10 game in. I saw it looked a little juicy, so I wanted to get. I've wanted to stream one of these 10 games since I heard about them. So I just wanted to get this in since it looked a little juicy today. And they don't always run, so. But thanks for dropping by for sure, buddy. I think if we do play, it'll be a couple hours from now. Yeah, we're still in the stud high low. That's a pretty crappy hand in the high low context, so we're just going to get rid of it. In level 12 now, so we've still got 8 levels of late registration if anybody wants to come and join. Just going to do a little bit of Twitter promo. Alrighty, just doing a little Twitter promo there. Get some action out. This is a little bit more. Oh, we've moved into. No, we're in stud high low. This is a little bit more of a potential stud high low hand. Got the 4 and the 8 that we're a little bit worried about developing lows, but otherwise we're looking pretty good with our 6-3 for low. That's obviously not helping us much, and I think at this point we're basically expecting runner to hit our low for this, and expecting, I don't know what we're expecting to hit a high for here, so I think we're just out of the hand. Keeping going is going to be It's going to be a problem. Hey, Hammer, good to see you. Good to see you. Glad that you're at least double windowing me with Mr. Staples. Right today, well, it's all up at the top of the stream in the title. We're playing a little 10 game at Tilt. We are playing at $3.30. There is, I believe it was 16 people total. Up to 17 now. Still late, Reg. If you have a Tilt account, you can come and play in the 10 game if you want. We're still 8 levels of late registration left. So this is a $3.30. 12 people left in the tournament now. I am sitting in 5th chip position currently. 3 places pay today. $27 up top for first place, which is not bad for a $3.30 entry, and it's $10.80 for third, which is not bad for a $3.30 entry. Again, so I'm pretty happy. Pretty happy with that. We'll see how it goes. I mentioned earlier that I've been doing pretty well here on Tilt last couple of days. I won $30 by cashing in all 4 tournaments that I played yesterday. It's gonna be a pretty good day when that happens usually, and it certainly was. So we're building a bankroll over here on Tilt, which will make it easier to play some of the mini F-tops off HoldEm games. I definitely want to play a 25 game. Wouldn't mind playing this 10 game as well. Absolutely wouldn't mind getting involved in the Irish that they're going to run with the mini F-tops, and definitely want to do the stud high low and the Raz. So right, we've got 2 pair here, kings and nines. It's obviously it's a horrible board for 2 pair with all those straights out. There's like 8,000 different possible straight combinations hitting that board. So I'm really not thrilled with how strong I am in a PLO sort of context here. The fact that nobody's betting it, well, here we go. And I mean, I think that with Bruno here, I think how often is he doing this with less than 2 pair? Never, maybe, is the answer to that question. So I think we're getting out of there with kings and nines. It's not even the best 2 pair. Yeah, he had the straight, so we're definitely in rough shape in that spot with 2 pair. Ha. Roger that. Your wish is my command, because that's a hell of a much better title than I've done. Ten games for the price of 1. Cool, cool, cool. We are changed. Yeah, come on, jump in, Hammer. Still lots of room. Jump in. The water's nice. 19 players total now. 19 total, 13 remaining. What's your name on tilt there, Hammer? I'm not seeing Loopy in the list, so you must have a different name on tilt than you do on stars. Alrighty, so in the PLO we called with a couple of jacks really, but I've hit the flush draw. Not a great flush draw, and in PLO you're always gonna have some issues, I think, with low flush draws. But I think that we're probably having to play this anyways. So we hit a pair of tens, which doesn't really change our hand at all. We still got the pair of jacks and the flush draw. Fivel's been betting pretty heavily into us. And he checks this time. That's rather interesting. So I think what we're going to do here is do like about a little bit less than a half pot bet here, maybe like a 5-8-5, something like that. See how he responds to that. I mean, we got an overpair to the board. We've got one of the flush draws that's developed. None of that has come through, but we've now basically got jacks and deuces, which beats anything that he's connected with on the board other than the deuce. So do I value bet this? There's probably not a lot of value in this, I don't think. I'm just going to check behind, I think, most of the time here. Yeah, I don't really think that I get calls from weaker hands in that spot very much. So I'm going to go on break. I will be back shortly. We will see you soon. Okay, I'm back. And we are back with a hand in pot limit Omaha. Pretty nice looking hand for wraps and straights and things like that, I think. So I think we're probably going to get involved with that a lot of times. We're in the big blind as well, so I think defending our big blind here is probably going to be fairly profitable a lot of times. I suppose we could 3-bet our big blind here. Repot over top of Delbo, which is Hammer. So it's interesting to see that Hammer is getting right into it with us on our big blind in the first hand. So that's cool. How's it going, Hammer? So we flopped top pair. Clearly, there could be a 7 out there as well. Not quite as likely in PLO as it would be in PLO 8. We're going to check to the pre-flop razor. Let our good friend Hammer, friend of the stream Hammer, decide what's friend of the stream green. So we've got aces and sevens with the king kicker, which is going to be good a lot of times here, I think. We've now got the bunch of straight draw possibilities, and if Hammer is not on clubs, then we're still in pretty good shape, I think. No reason to assume that Hammer's on clubs, especially with that particular check on the turn, and this might easily get a fold, just assuming that we're on clubs. We might well be ahead with aces and sevens with the king kicker. We might well be ahead here. I'm pretty certain at this point that Hammer's not playing clubs, given the tank there. So into fixed limit deuce 7 triple. So I don't know if I bluffed you or not there, Hammer, but you'll have to let us know in chat what you were holding there. I was pretty certain that you weren't playing clubs, and I'm pretty certain that my ace is good there. So I think the 7's the only one that's that I'm particularly worried about at that point. Hammer's drawing 1 on third draw. Fivel's padded. It's basically pot bets behind for both of them. Wow, and the nuts for Fivel. That's harsh. That's harsh, Hammer. That is pretty harsh. Yeah, discard 1 to the queen here. And we pair our 6, which is not what we wanted, obviously. This is triple draw, so we get to do this again. Gonna check and draw one more time, see what we So the Maffey's drawing 1, we're drawing 1, we paired our 6 again. Again we pair our 6. I think again we're gonna check behind. Discard our 6, obviously. Ooh, and he takes 2 this time. So, I think a king is going to be good here in a lot of cases. I don't think it's... Do I need to bet here? What's better that's going to fold? Well, queens and jacks probably would fold to a bet here. What's worse that's going to call? Well, nothing worse is going to call. So I really think that is a marginal value spot. It certainly is a potential value spot, but it's marginal, I think. That is not a deuce to 7 hand by any stretch of the imagination. Oh wow, I did not really expect that bet to be able to fold out a 7 on that board. I guess I repped clubs well enough to. I guess I repped clubs well enough there. Hope you take this one down, Hammer. Padding, so I'm guessing that you're in pretty good shape at this point. 87, that's harsh. Outdrawn. Yeah, you're having a rough time. Good luck on this. Good luck on this Raz one, Hammer. I'd hate to see you. You're absolutely getting you're getting all the run good from this end that I can pass over. Not bad developing 854 on your board. That's not bad for nice pull for the from Raz there. Nicely done. Nice hand, Hammer. That's the trend you're back on now. Just as long as you don't take any of the chips from me, you can take chips from anyone else on the table. Go ahead. Just don't take them from me. I think other than in our weekly challenge, this is the first time that I've had somebody playing on the same table with me and watching the stream. I think, other than, like I say, the weekly challenge, in which case everybody's watching the stream usually. That's obviously a hand that I complete with all the time. And I'm obviously continuing to put money in the pot here with this. The 10's not the greatest card in the world, obviously, but I'm still drawing better than him, so I'm still calling behind. That's my gin card. We're raising him now that he's betting. That's another gin card that we're betting, and we're going to make him... So those were obviously two pretty good cards for us on 6th and 7th there, but nonetheless, I mean, I think that we're still... there's really no spot at that hand where we didn't want to keep putting money in. Yeah, it makes sense, Hammer. I really wasn't... I honestly don't think I was value betting the ace king as much as I was trying to represent the clubs on that board. When you checked back on the turn, it really made me think that you weren't playing clubs. So that was really, it was more, I thought that maybe the ace is good sometimes, but I'm really trying to represent the clubs there. It's probably going to be a bring in fold here, most likely. If they let me see a free fourth, I might be continuing depending on what fourth comes in, but looking at the other boards, my Jack Nine's in pretty bad shape at this point, so I'm really not drawing well against anyone. So yeah, I think this is going to be a bring and fold. There's really no reason to continue with this hand. Let's have a look at the lobby. Up to 25 people regged. Total now 17 remaining. It is level 15, so there's still 5 levels of late registration. If anybody wants to jump in and play with us. I'm sitting third in chips. There's now 4 places being paid out. $30 up top. Even 750 is a min cash in fourth. Alrighty, so we've had some people go aggro on us when we raised our 4 here. With the 9 back, the deuce 4, we got 2 cards to the nuts. It can certainly play this, but I also think I've been aggressive enough. I'm going to get out of the way here. There's enough action elsewhere down the way that, I mean, obviously this is going to be a massive pot, and it would be great to win it. But I also think that it's going to decimate my stack a lot when if I lose it. So, and the 9 might be a bit nitty, but I think it's early days, so I think we can do that all right. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Nice to see you're coming back a bit. Yeah, pretty happy with my stack so far. Nice comeback. Very nice comeback. Very, very nice comeback, Hammer. You are kicking some ass. That's good. Right up top, number 3 and number 4 in the chip stacks. Playing no limit hold'em at the moment. I've got ace 3. I think I'm going to defend my ace 3 here, frankly. We don't have any clubs to play with. Fivel's fairly aggressive, though. That's a pot bet. After min raise call pre, and pot, check pot on the... I don't really have enough to go, but that's an interesting line that he's taking there, frankly. It doesn't look terribly strong, I don't think. Looks like he's trying to play strong. Looks like he's trying to steal, and then he goes, oh my god, I've got to actually do something here. It's kind of what it looks like, but I'm not sure that with ace 3 there's much I can do about it, frankly. I can certainly call ace deuce suited, but small blind, having dominated hands like that or dominatable hands like that is just not going to work out for you very well, very often in no limit hold'em. Of course, looks like we're drawing into the nut straight flush draw, which we bricked out on, so we would have had nothing on that hand. Well, we would have had the low draw. at the straight, the wheel straight. Get rid of the queen 5, I think. Another person's reg. We're up to 26 total now in the tournament. Looks like another 4 levels of registration left, so it's getting tight now. Registration is closing very soon. Not sure if we've gone through the entire rotation yet or not. Yes. No, we have not. Well, yes, we have actually, but I missed part of it. So I think it's on the next level that is where I came in to this tournament. I'm sure I haven't played No Limit Hold'em yet. I think this is my first time playing No Limit Hold'em, so I must have come in just after this round. Because next is PLO, and I'm sure I came in on a PLO round. Oh no, next is Omaha High Low. Oh, I have no idea where I came in. Ooh, your stack is ever growing, Hammer. That's awesome. That is awesome. Wanna see you and me heads up at the final table here later on today. That's what we're gunning for. You and me heads up. That was an interesting play, certainly. Not entirely sure what he's trying to represent there, but what the hell? Fix limit Omaha High Low, Ace Ace Deuce 3. That's a pretty darn pretty hand for Omaha High Low. Yeah, no, that's cool. You go ahead. You keep one in your pot. You don't worry about the chat window. You just keep one in the pots. I'll talk in your ear if you're still listening, of course. But Ace Ace Deuce 3 is obviously pretty gorgeous. Pretty gorgeous spot for me. I'm still on the nut low. And I think we're putting money in the pot. Don't like the clubs, obviously, but we've got the nut low, so it's not really possible for us not to be wanting to put money in the pot here. And we take the pot down. That's always a nice spot. King King 3-4 is also not bad in a Omaha high-low context. See what the flop brings. So I got an overpair to the board with my kings and a reasonable low draw, although not a low draw that I really want to go super crazy on until I see some aces and deuces possibly come out. That 8 is an ugly, ugly, ugly card. 8s are things that people do keep from time to time because they play for low. Scott sort of insta-bet there. Still think that the overpair is too strong not to keep in. Now I do have a low here, 86543. I think I'm probably calling. Oh geez, with the raise from 5-0, I think my low's probably bad almost all the time. There are straights that came in here. I might regret this, but I think I'm actually going to fold here. With these guys going cap crazy, I think that I'm just not really strong enough on either end to be involved. I might live to regret this absolutely because somebody might win a huge pot out of this that would have been oh yeah, set of fives full and deuce three. See, I was behind both directions. Yeah, yeah, I was in bad shape on that hand. So folding was the best move. Good friend of the stream, Hammer, is sitting in third spot right now, chip-wise. 28 people have entered the tournament. There will be 4 places paid out still. First prize is up to $33.60. We're in level 17. Late registration available through level 20, so there's still a time for more people to jump in and build this prize pool up. Yeah, cool. No worries, Hammer. I totally understand that it's certainly much easier for me to chat and read with my setup the way I am. So you do what you need to do and you play your game because I'd love to see you take this down. Assuming I don't take it down. I'd love to see us play heads up for this and then figure out at that point and then do a deal where we just split the money down the middle. Alrighty, I haven't really been paying attention over here very much. Lots of straight possibilities coming up here on the Omaha high level. Oh, unfortunately, Hammer lost that one. We're into fixed limit stud high. I'm liking likey the flush. 3-card flush start is never a horrible thing in stud high. Calling here, see a 4th Street. I'll see one more street. That also brings in my flush draw. Obviously brings in lots of full house possibilities. Yeah, I'm certainly not great of... Thank you very much. Pretty lucky to hit the set of 4s there. I'm pretty sure he was on 2 pair, so my 4-4 was not going to be good enough. So pretty lucky to hit the 2 pair. I'm raising the king here quite a bit as well. And keeping the pressure on since we're just playing stud high. That's developing into some possible straights. I like the fact that there was 2 sets of clubs coming up here. That ace is never going to be a hugely friendly thing for me. But I think I'm still continuing regardless. The 3 kings is obviously going to be a very nice situation for me here. And one where we're putting money in here. I'm hoping that Fievel's getting aggressive and re-raising us. He doesn't in that case, but a couple of nice hands there for us. Yeah, agreed. If you and I get heads up, we split it equal shares regardless of our stacks at that point. You got it. That sounds like an excellent deal to me at this point. Because at this point, that'll be about close to $60 that we're splitting, so we'd be splitting at $30 each, and I'm good with that. We're calling with our big flush draw here, obviously. That's not a friendly card for us, but I think we're still probably going to see one more street. Yeah, one more street, I think, at least. That hasn't really developed anything into our hand, so I think we're done with the hand now. 28 people total now in the game. 14 left over, still 4 being paid. Yeah, we'll get out of the way in this one. Righty, into no limit, deuce 7 single draw. That's not really a hand I want to play too much of, but we'll draw 2 into that, I think. Although, let's see what oh, it's my turn to draw first. I was going to say, let's see what Fievel draws first, but it's my turn. So Fievel drew 1. We ended up with a Jack 9. I'm probably going to call this a lot. And I take it down. I don't really think that's a hand I need to play in. I mean, I could be drawing 2 to the nuts there in theory, but I'm not that thrilled with that spot, really. $12 people remaining in our deuce to set, or in our 10 game here. Level 19, so registration is going to be closing very soon. Next level, at the end of next level, it closes. Playing 6-minute levels, so there is roughly 9 minutes left to go for registration. By the time you hear this, it'll be more like 6. It looks like we'll be topping out at somewhere in the neighborhood of 28 players for this one. It's not bad for a little 10 game on Saturday afternoon or Saturday evening if yeah, people are still late regging, Hammer. It's pretty insane, I know. I was in the Irish the other day, the one that I won, and there was two places paid. We were down to heads up, so we were in the money, and late registration was still open. Now, neither one of us managed to finish the other one off, and somebody late regged while we were in the money, thereby taking us out of the money, putting us back to three-handed, so we were no longer in the money. It was the weirdest situation I've ever been in a poker tournament before. I've never seen that happen online uh, uh, before, and I have to wonder if one of us had finished the other one off while we were heads up. And late reg is still open. Do I sit at the table and wait for somebody to reg to come in, or is the tournament over? I mean, what happens with that? Because that's kind of weird that he was still able to reg at that point. I would have thought that even if late reg was technically still open, when you hit ITM, they would cancel late registration. Would have been the way I thought it would work, but that's apparently not the way it works here. So I was a little surprised by that yesterday, or 2 days ago. Yeah, I think we both have stacks that'll make us certainly vying for the money without too much trouble, unless we go a little crazy. That's just not a hand I want to play in deuce to seven very often. That one's a little bit more of a possible deuce to 7 hand. I think it's probably a pat in this spot. I have to see what the draw, if Bruno comes in, what Bruno draws would determine. But I'm patting this an awful lot. Bruno's drawing 1. 10's going to be good against 1 draw an awful lot. So I think I'm going to pat behind and just hope for the best. I don't really think I need to bet here. I could obviously value, but I don't think I need to. And, his 1 draw. Yeah, and he took it. Wait a second, how did that happen? Oh, I obviously misread my hand because I apparently had a pair of 6s that I wasn't aware of. So I did not see a pair of 6s in my hand. Otherwise, I obviously wouldn't have patted if I knew I had a pair of 6s. Interesting. So Hammer's probably going to be screaming at me when if you see that hand because clearly I made a mistake on that hand. Clearly, because I thought I was good. I thought I was playing a 10-8 low, but apparently I was playing a pair of 6s. Alrighty. Rushland was in a bunch of was in the Raz that I played last night. Took him out before the money. That's a very pretty Badoogie hand. I do love Badoogie. Badoogie's one of my favorite games. Yeah, that was the most twisted thing. We were nearly done, and the people were still fucking raging in the tournament. And if it was more than 2 people cashing, if it had been like 4 people cashing that tournament, and we were down to heads up, did people still be able to late reg and basically guarantee themselves a cash? That seems really wrong. Frankly, if that was the case, but I mean, I don't know. I've literally never seen a situation like that in a poker tournament before, and it just completely flabbergasted me when it happened. I really have no idea what to think about it. At least that's not going to be the case in this one, where we're well away from the caching when the reg is going to close. But we're currently in the final level of registration. 2 minutes left in that level, so actually by the time you hear this, it will be closed. We've bumped up to 30 players in total now. Still only 4 places being paid out, so it's a little bit over 10% of the payout scheme. 13 players remaining. I am sitting 4th of chips. Delbo, our good friend of the stream, UK Hammer, is 5th in chips. Yes, good luck until we're at the final table again. Keep kicking ass. One minute left for late registration. Tai Chi is a fairly aggressive player, just to keep your eyes on him there, Delbo. I was playing with him earlier. I don't think he's been on our table when you were here before, but I definitely played with him earlier today, and he's pretty aggressive guy. I think I'm getting involved in this pot. I felt like I folded every Badugi hand that I've been dealt today, which is not my style in Badugi. I think we're absolutely drawing our king to like a 3-card 8, which I'm reasonably happy with. We've got a 1, a 2, and a pat. The pat does not need to be very strong at this stage, I don't think. 6 doesn't help us at all, the 6 of hearts. Moving into limit hold'em after this hand. Wow, things are going crazy here. I actually think I'm getting out of the way on this one, frankly. Moose is pat, and he takes it down. Sorry, I'm talking about the hand on the other table. I was just put somebody all in and deuced 7, and he takes her down with an 876. Curious to see what people are playing, because this has been quite the pot that's come out. The Queen Jack pats down from the end at 97. So I was drawing live. If I'd stayed in the hand, I was drawing live. But yeah, I mean we're certainly getting some pretty crazy drawing going at that stage. We got the gut shot, so I think we're going to float, see a street. I don't think we need to see any more. All right, so Reg closed with 31 people finally in it. A bunch of people, 3 people jumped in right near the end there. Total of 5 places being paid now. We've got 37.20 up top for first, and fifth place is paying a min cash of $8.37, all of which is a pretty good return on your $3.30 investment here, folks, I think. Raising the King Jack suited here is going to be good. The flop obviously hasn't connected with us, but I think we've got to float a street at least once to see what we get. We can quite possibly, with a check raise, we could easily represent the 7 at this point. Now, the fact that we raised pre and were called probably makes that unlikely to happen. But I'm going to pat here. And we lost that one. Just hit the final table on my PSO. PSO game. Losing my shirt here on the fix limit hold'em. Yeah, we're folding that hand. No hearts, no pairs, nothing to play with there. That's be a pretty bold, pretty heroish call if we made the call there, frankly. I'm not sure what Stradley was checking there for, frankly. I mean, king's full of fours. There's no other hand that. I mean, does he think I've got a king five there? That seems a little unlikely, but hey, whatever. Well, this hold'em level's obviously gone pretty poorly for me, but that's cool. Happens. Go up and down these poker tournaments. We'll get chips back. We'll get those chips back. Yeah, no, you're still doing good. I've got your table up. I'm not watching it directly because, of course, I'm watching my own and trying to stream and all that jazz. But I am watching a bit of yours. Check 9-7. This will be a fold most of the time. Yeah, we're folding that out pretty much all the time. So this has been a pretty crappy. It's been a pretty crappy hold'em round for us. Moved into a fixed limit stud high low. I'm pretty liking all those hearts. The ace-6 isn't a terrible place to start on a high-low hand. 10 of diamonds obviously isn't doing much for us given what we're working on, but what can you do? Neither is the... Well, I suppose it is now that I'm looking at those because it gives us the jack for a gut shot. Not the most... the greatest thing that you want to be playing with, but it's going to give it to you. So our hearts are gone now. Clara could easily be sitting on diamonds at this stage, I suppose. It could easily be four flushed as well. But what am I drawing to? A jack, basically, at this point. So I'm getting out of there because I just don't have enough equity in that hand, I don't think. It's basically the jack is the only card that I'm going to be happy with. Ooh, deuces full of queens. 3-4-5 is an awesome stud high-low hand. It's the kind of stud high-low hand that you dream about at night. Got to see one more street, anyways. Obviously, it's not going well for me. The 3 is a terrible card as well. The jack is a terrible card as well. 3 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 is a terrible card as well. The ace is a lovely card. Do I want to play it aggressively? I think I'm probably still going to check call at this stage. I don't actually have a low, and they know I don't have a good low. We've bricked everything again. This has been pretty brutal last few hands here. We're just bricking like crazy. You know, no low, brick to high, brick to low. That's just brutal when that happens. Just brutal. That's okay though. As Sylvester Stallone says, it's not whether you can get hit, it's how hard you can get hit and still keep going. Although I suppose that's not really Sylvester Stallone, it's more Rocky. It's Sylvester Stallone reading lines that somebody's written for him. And I think I got the quote wrong as well. It's not how hard you can hit, it's how hard you can get hit and still keep it going. I'm still pretty happy with my low at this point. Um, very happy with my low at this point. And I think I'm going to get a lot of marginal high, no lows to fold. I didn't in that case, but looks like we got a break coming up. This will be a split pot. Split pot, and we're on to break. So I'm going to do my do some custodial duties. I shall return. Yeah, of course, that's going to be one of the problems that you come back and just as we go on break because of the, you playing in the tournaments. But hey, that's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. Cool. So a minute left. We're on break. 13 people still left in the tournament. I'm sitting in 9th position chip-wise right now. Good friend of the stream, the UK Hammer, Delbo99 is sitting in 3rd position with 11,240 chips. Clara here on our table is 2nd in chips. Hebel is 1st overall. Just add that I'm 3-handed on my deuce to 7 table on PokerStars Online at the moment as well. So definitely cashing in that one. That one was 5 cashes, so we're well into the cash now, which is nice. More points for my PSO leaderboard. Playing 3 tables in the 10 game at the moment. 4 players, 5 players, and 4 players. Delbo's is the table with 5 players on it, so that's a little unfortunate for Hammer, but that's the way it goes sometimes. Pretty nutty looking hand on my deuce to 7 game across the way. I think this might be the time that I make a stand over there. Had an 85, which is a pretty strong hand on a deuce to 7. Ooh, that's a very pretty high-low, stud high-low hand. I think we're completing that to 300 and doing it pretty happily. Obviously not the card we were looking for, but nobody else on the table necessarily knows that, so it actually looks good for a low hand. Don't expect Clara to go anywhere at this stage of the game anyways. So 3, 4, 5, 6, which means we are drawing to both a good low and straights. We bricked everything. Good pair of 3s. But we got a nice fold, which is good. Always got to love when you get the folds in situations like that, when you've bricked everything and you still throw a bet out. Steve-O, how you doing, man? How you doing? Got Steve-O in here. Yeah, thanks, Steve-O. Good luck to you too, man. I bricked out all my lows. Pair of nines over here for high. That's obviously not going to beat the kings, so we're done for there. Steve-O takes down a nice pot on the deuce to 7. For the record, Hammer, I am heads up with Steve-O on the deuce to 7 on PokerStars in the home game at the moment. So, in fact, let's throw that up on the stream since we're playing it. Let's throw that up on the stream. Alrighty, let's shrink this down a little bit. Move it to here. Want to get rid of our ace there, I think. Let's grab this guy, put him up over here. Check that. Let's move this over here. There we go. Alrighty, so we got Steve-O up. We're playing pot limit Omaha high over here. I think I'm going to bet my ace-king of spades. Nice nice flop for us. Top pair, and we've got the nut spade draw. I think we're continuing to bet that most of the time. Nice turn card for us. We bet half pot pre or on the flop, so I think we have to bet half pot on the turn just to be consistent. You know, if we check, I don't really think we're going to induce a lot of betting on the river. We might induce betting on the river if we check. It might look like we're scared of the spades. Getting out of the way on that one, I think. Yes, Shark, or our friend Hammer Shark, whatever you want to say, is ripping the tables up here. Second chip position now, 13,000. 13,000 in chips, so doing awesome. I've just pulled some back on the Omaha high-low round, or the stud high-low round. Playing Omaha high now, I'm going to be a little more cautious because Omaha high is not really my game mostly. You guys, I don't think I've played it on stream very much, so I don't think I've ever played it by itself on stream, in fact. Why, thank you, Hammer. And yes, good luck to Steve-O as well. That's a fairly pretty looking deuce to 7 hand, but of course Steve-O knows that and folds out to me. Been trading back and forth quite a bit on this one. even when I don't play pot limit Omaha very much, I'm fairly certain that 10 Jack King Ace is always going to be a good hand. When you have a suit involved, that makes it even better. The fact that it's the king is not the greatest as far as suits are concerned, but you know what? It is serious. Right on, Josh. I'll make sure to do that. You know, you're kicking my ass in those heads up games, but they're fun. So I'm not. I'm definitely wanting to get back and do them again. It's been good. Josh is 2-0 in our heads up battles so far, or is it 3-0 now? No, 2-0. 2-0 in our head, or is it 3-0? No, it's 3-0 now, isn't it? This PSO home game was total of 24 people in, five places paid out of this. 48 cents was a min cash. It's like a 27-cent buy-in. 48 cents for min cash. $2.40 is up top. Second is $1.62. So that's what Steve and I are fighting over here. Is that 78 cents separating first and second. Yeah, it's funny. I just checked the info tab. We're not allowed to talk deal in this, Steve-O. We've got to play for all the money. That's sick variance, man. We got to play for that 78 cents. We can't talk deal. Gone into deuce 7 triple draw over here. I don't think I want to be involved in that hand, even in triple draw. I don't think I want to be involved in this hand in single draw. Yeah, I mean, I think that if he calls there, I probably have to draw to my jack. But I like the rest of the cards in my hand, so I think I've got to put some value on that in that spot. Gonna draw the king here. We got a pair of nines back. I'm gonna check. Yeah, he's gonna. Oh no, we take it down because he gets a straight. That's pretty brutal, Steve-O. That's pretty brutal, man. Not great draw over here on our full tilt table. Obviously, we're drawing into an open-ended straight draw at this point, which is pretty brutal. But I think 10-7. What did Mar? Mar discarded one. I think what we're going to do is stand pat here. And Mara stands pat as well. How often is a 10-7 going to be good in this spot? Probably often enough to call a bet with, I think. Not in this spot, though. No, that sounds good, Josh. We have to play a few, that's for sure. I think my biggest tip is probably not to stream your hole cards so that I can see them 3 minutes later the way I do for everybody else. That's probably going to be the biggest tip for playing playing well heads up against me. So I'm already giving you guys an advantage here when I do the streaming. Got a bit of a chip lead over Steve-O in this one. I've had some good luck. I think in the deuce to seven over him as well. So always fortunate when that happens. Getting a walk on the tilt table is always nice. That's the first walk I've got in this entire tournament, actually. Seems out of character for the table. Something must have gone wrong with their clients at that moment, I think. Yeah, no problem, Steve-O. No worries. Last time I was over at Jamie Staples' stream, he was. I think he might be lagging Twitch today. He had a ton of viewers at his stream when I was over there earlier. Been watching that a lot actually the last couple days. Is really quite enjoying. Really quite enjoying it. I'm gonna pat this. See what Steve-O does. Steve-O draws one. I think we want to throw half a pot out and just see if he wants to keep playing at this stage after his one draw. Oh yes, and he takes us down with a 10. Nice hand, buddy. Nice hand. Standing on the jack there is pretty marginal. In theory, patting on a jack is going to put you marginally ahead of somebody drawing one, but it's a pretty small edge. So, standing on a 10, drawing one is a bigger edge. Standing on a 9 against somebody drawing one is, that way. The jack is pretty much where it starts to flip over to not being an edge at all. So, yeah, it's probably pretty marginal for me to pat there. Well, he is a proper hustler too, Hammer, because in both of the heads-up matches that we've played now, I've literally had him on the mat, down to a couple of hundred chips, and just on the verge of being eliminated from the game. And next thing you know, I'm on the sidelines looking around, going, "Where the hell did all my chips go?" So yeah, he's really been, the whole pattern has been serious hustle going on here. Gonna raise this on good. Obviously, I'm gonna draw the king if he calls. I'm gonna take it down pre often enough though that I think it's worth the raise. Gone over to Raz on the tilt table. Got a 6 showing with a 4 and an ace. I think I'm gonna fold this out. It's just not strong enough to keep going really. Oh yeah, that's right. I don't think. I mean, I'm obviously giving people an advantage by showing the stream and showing how I play and talking through the hands. Um, but I honestly don't think I'm giving that much up. It's, certainly it's a case of strategy, but I'm not playing the best strategy here. I mean, if you come into these, uh, oh, just the nuts. That's cool. Just the nuts, folks. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Um, right. If you come into these streams sort of assuming that what I'm telling you is the gospel truth about how to play these games, um, I have some bad news for you. I'm not a $1 million professional poker player, folks. I'm a rec player that just is trying to work this out, kind of along with everybody else watching the stream. So, yeah, I mean, it's a case of I'm not really giving anything away necessarily because I'm not playing the top strategy. So I'm here to learn just as much as everybody else who comes to the stream might be. Oh, that king is obviously pretty ugly, but I think that our rest of our hand is stacking up reasonably well against Clara. So I think we're going to see one street more. That changes the complexion of the hand quite a bit because at this point we're playing an 87 versus Clara's 7. So that really does put us in much worse shape, and I think we need to get out of the hand there. Down to 8 left in the 10 game. I'm sitting 7th in chips, so still in rough shape, but not horrible. We're chipping a chair is a totally appropriate strategy, and it pays off more often than you might think if you know what you're doing with your small stack and you can go in the right spots and it's worth doing. I'm going to draw 2 to the 10 here, I think, on the deuce to 7 table. Drawing a pair of 6s, lovely. I got to fold that out to Steve-O, let him take it down this time. I could represent a better hand than I have with that 3 up there, but I don't really have the stack to do it at this point, and I need to be pretty cautious, I think, in what I'm playing. So if you're just tuning in, what we got going on here is this is a deuce to 7 tournament that we're down to heads up in now with a friend of the stream, Steve-O Pick.